But now, first, it's my pleasure to welcome in the studio Yael Nir. As I said, you are a graffiti tour guide, a graffiti expert. Is that correct?
Let's say urban art or street art and graffiti.
Okay,
Yeah.
street art, urban art, and graffiti.
Yeah.
I heard that you did your thesis on graffiti. Is that correct?
I wrote my master's on graffiti and street art in Israel, in Tel Aviv mostly, but also other areas.
Okay, so tell me about you and about your tours.
A year ago, I launched Hasayeret Art Tours, which offers street art tours for people who are interested in that scene, but also the environment and the society in which we live, because street art and graffiti always reacts and is connected to what is happening in the culture of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And the tours are actually my research, but with the participants, a conversation, more of a debate, as opposed to like writing a serious thesis about.
Right. So this is the kind of segment where it's radio is wonderful, of course, but I mean, street art, urban art is so visual. I wish you could actually take us on a tour right now. But why don't you try to depict what the Tel Aviv urban art scene is like?
We have like what we can call here the senior generation of artists. We are talking about artists who are not even in their 30s, most cases, but we're talking about generation like artistic path.
Right.
We have artists that has been working for like a decade, like No Hope, which is maybe the most well-known, also worldwide. FOMA. She has an exhibition opening tonight in STA Gallery, South Tel Aviv Art Gallery, which focuses on urban art and drawing and artistic media like that. And she's a female also, which is very special in that particular scene.
Mm-hmm. And so what does she, what's her medium? I mean, does she spray paint on...
That's a great question, because No Hope and FOMA rarely use spray paint, which is like the classic medium we think about when we think about street art in general.
Absolutely.
And she's really a very good drawer.
Mm-hmm.
And she will be presenting in the exhibition mostly drawings, but some paintings, some oil paintings, talking about human relationship. She started with the notion of like a couple of being together, a man and a woman, or two women or two men, but it spread to a debate about family relations and even tribal relations and stuff like that. The exhibition, I already saw it. It's going to be great. I recommend it tonight.
But so why is she qualified as a street artist? Because does she paint on street walls?
These artists, I started talking about No Hope, FOMA, and also Clone and Zero Sense, which are names that you got to know when you get in that field. Alongside presenting art in the public space, they always used to do studio works and present it in galleries and museums and like formal art spaces around the world. And next week I'm gonna do a tour, special private tour in FOMA's exhibition, and it's gonna be great. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to it.
Okay. Are there urban artists who only do their art in urban places?
I think one of the most important things for me, and I do it like at the beginning of almost every tour, is to make this very important separation between what is graffiti, which is sort of calligraphy actually, and what is urban art, which is another thing. I'll have to invite you to come to one of my tours and really see the visual. And I think graffiti writers are mostly active in the streets because the attempt to bring graffiti inside the gallery, so to speak, didn't really succeed, and it really doesn't work well. Graffiti, which is my favorite genre in that field, it has to be in the street for a lot of reasons. We can get into it in depth here, but street artists, I also have studio works. We have also managed the sales at Fresh Paint Art Fair.
Okay.
So we had Dede, which is a street artist. We had No Hope. Of course, we had Zero Sense. We had Clone in the artist greenhouse presenting studio works that are connected to the street works but are totally different.
Right.
Of course.
By the way, I once bought a painting by a graffiti artist called AIM72.
I love him.
Where does he fit in? Just so I know about.
He used to do a lot of stencil work. By the way, when I got in your studio today, I saw Adi Sened, which is one of the most important and well-known stencil artists. Usually, stencil has a low place in the hierarchy of street art, but artists like AIM72 and Adi Sened are really successful in that particular medium because it's more elaborate, it's more complex, as you can see from the paintings outside. If you never took a really deep look into it, maybe now is the opportunity.
Right.
Work with multiple colors and doing work which is also conceptually complex and talking about things that Amy is really good at that, talking about things that are really relevant to our everyday life. So when you see the piece, it really talks to you personally.
Right. A lot of people say that, you know, Israel and Tel Aviv especially is really a center for urban street and graffiti art. Why do you think that is, that Israeli artists are so strong at that?
That's a great question. Why? That's really correct what you just said. I think we have very gifted, talented artists, and they get recognized around the world for their beautiful pieces. By chance or not by chance, they're Israeli. By the way, a lot of the people we're talking about, AIM72, we're talking about No Hope, we're talking about FOMA, Clone, Zero Sense. These are people not born in Israel. AIM is not even like Jewish, so to speak. Like,
right, he's British.
Yeah, he's totally British. He's married to a beautiful Israeli wife, so that's why he lives here. Now they have a baby. I think they're good artists. In the art field, especially when we're talking about urban art, it's a really if you're good, you succeed. If you're not, it's not going to work. It's not a question of advertising or branding or stuff like that. You just have to be good. Then you get a worldwide recognition. Plus, we have the element of the internet, especially in urban art. People share pictures with each other. It used to be what's it called, Flickr, and now it's Facebook or Instagram. So you can get recognized really fast around the world if you're good.
Right. How can people find out more about your tours and how often do you do them?
First of all, we have a new website. It's been a real secret up until now. I'm just telling you first. That's www.hasayeret.co.il. We also have a Facebook page. It's called Hasayeret Art Tours, הסיירת סיורי אמנות, where you can see all the activity, the recent tours and stuff like that. And you can follow.
All right.
Instagram
and
also.
I will definitely take my friends and my family and come on one of your tours. We love doing art tours. I know you know our friend Sarah Pegin, who sometimes comes onto this show to do her
I love Sarah.
to do some tours, and I've gone on 2 of her tours, so I'll come on one of yours.
Great.
And we'll definitely check out your website. Yeah, and Neil, thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Thank you.
And now enjoy Kach Kol Be'easy.